If you have tried to create a product-based service but keep ending up doing more work than you priced for, the problem is almost certainly in how you scope the package. Scoping is the process of defining exactly what is included in a service offer, what is excluded, and where the boundaries sit between the two. It sounds straightforward, but most freelancers and consultants skip the details and end up with packages that bleed time and profit. This video walks you through a practical scoping process that protects your margin, sets clear expectations with the client, and gives you a foundation for repeating the service without renegotiating every engagement. We will cover what a scope document actually needs to contain, how to identify the boundaries that cause the most problems, and a simple framework you can use to scope any service in under an hour. Whether you sell design, writing, development, or consulting, the process is the same. A scope document for a product-based service needs to answer 5 questions clearly enough that both you and the client can read it and agree on what will happen. Those 5 questions are: what is the deliverable? What inputs does the client provide? How many revision rounds are included? What is the timeline? And what is explicitly not included? Start with the deliverable. This is not a vague description like website redesign or marketing strategy. It is a concrete list of outputs. For a website project, the deliverable might be a 5-page WordPress site with responsive design, built on a specific theme framework, with content provided by the client, and a contact form connected to their email. Each of those details eliminates a potential misunderstanding. If the scope says 5 pages and the client asks for a 6th, the scope document gives you a clear reference point for a change order. Next, define client inputs. Every service depends on something from the client, whether it is brand assets, login credentials, content drafts, or feedback by a certain date. If you do not specify what the client needs to provide and when, delays on their side cascade into your schedule and eat your margin. A simple line like "the client provides final copy for all 5 pages within 5 business days of project kickoff" protects your timeline. Revision rounds are where most scope problems live. If the package does not state a revision limit, the client will reasonably assume revisions are unlimited. 2 rounds of design revisions included, with each round submitted within 3 business days of delivery, is a defensible boundary. Additional revisions can be offered at a stated per round rate, which also creates a small upsell opportunity. The timeline should include both your delivery window and the client's response deadlines. A scope that says delivery in 2 weeks but does not specify that the client must respond to each draft within 3 business days gives the client room to delay indefinitely while you hold the project open. The most dangerous part of any scope is what you leave out. Exclusions are the boundaries that protect your margin, and most freelancers are uncomfortable listing them because it feels like they are being difficult. In reality, clear exclusions are a sign of professionalism and help clients understand exactly what they are buying. Here is a practical approach to identifying exclusions. Look at your last 5 projects and list every task you did that was not part of the original agreement. Common examples include writing copy the client was supposed to provide, resizing images, configuring third-party integrations, attending extra meetings, making changes after the project was marked complete, and training the client's team on how to use the final deliverable. Each of these is a scope item that should either be included and priced into the package or explicitly listed as an exclusion. For a web design package, an exclusion list might read, "This package does not include copywriting, stock photography purchasing, SEO optimization, hosting setup, domain registration, ongoing maintenance, or training beyond a single 30-minute walkthrough." That list is not hostile. It is clear. A client who reads it knows exactly what they need to handle separately, and if they want those items included, you can offer them as add-ons with separate pricing. A useful framework for building your exclusion list is the neighbor test. For every item in your deliverable, ask what task sits right next to it that a client might assume is included. If your package includes logo design, the neighbor tasks are business card design, social media profile graphics, and brand guidelines documentation. If those are not in your package, they belong in your exclusion list. Another common scope leak is communication scope. If your package does not define how communication happens, some clients will expect daily check-in calls, Slack availability during business hours, and weekend responses. A line like communication is handled via email with responses within one business day, and the project includes to scheduled video calls sets a boundary that protects your time without being unreasonable. Now let us put the scoping process into a repeatable framework you can use for any service. This is a 4-step method that takes 30 to 60 minutes and produces a scope document you can attach to every proposal. Step 1 is the deliverable inventory. Write down every output the client receives at the end of the engagement. Be specific about format, quantity, and platform. Not just social media graphics, but 12 static Instagram post graphics in PNG format at 1080 by 1080 pixels delivered via Google Drive folder. Step 2 is the input checklist. List everything the client must provide before you start and during the project. Include deadlines for each input. If the client misses a deadline, your scope document should state what happens, typically a timeline extension equal to the delay or a rescheduling fee. Step 3 is the boundary map. Use the neighbor test to identify every task that sits adjacent to your deliverables and decide whether each one is included, excluded, or available as an add-on. Write every excluded item into your scope document. For add-ons, include the price so the client can opt in during the proposal stage. Step 4 is the revision and communication protocol. State the number of revision rounds, the response window for each round, and the process for requesting changes beyond the included rounds. Define your communication channels, response time, and meeting schedule. Once you have completed these 4 steps, you have a scope document that can be copied into every proposal for this service with minimal customization. The first version will not be complete. You will discover gaps after the first 2 or 3 clients when someone asks for something you did not anticipate. Update the scope document each time this happens. After 5 projects, your scope will cover 90% of edge cases, and the remaining 10% can be handled with a simple change order process. Scoping is not a one-time task. It is a system that gets sharper with each engagement. The freelancers and consultants who build detailed scope documents protect their time, reduce client friction, and create packages that are genuinely repeatable. Product-based service playbook helps freelancers, consultants, and small agencies turn custom work into repeatable, packaged services. The channel explains pricing, scoping, delivery systems, onboarding, retainers, margins, and processes for building a service business that scales without trading more hours for more revenue. This video is general service business education, not a guarantee of revenue, pricing power, clients, retainers, margin, reduced workload, or business results. Outcomes vary by niche, skill, positioning, demand, delivery quality, client needs, and sales process.